I'm going to go a little bit off brand here for a minute. I've talked a lot about living up here in Canada. I've called it Canuckistan because, well, we have some things going on here that aren't quite democratic. Now, recently, the minority government up here in Canada, the Liberals, just announced getting into bed with the NDP, which is very left-leaning, although they're both very left-leaning these days. They basically said that they'll support this government until the next election in 2025. In Canada, we have it so that you can have a minority government, which doesn't have enough votes to pass everything, but can still govern as long as someone else joins in. Not like in the United States where they have elections every 4 years. We have them sort of whenever. Well, the reason I talk about that is just today, our Prime Minister was raked over the coals, and it is hilarious. Greetings, Dave here, DCBFX. Very, very different today. I want to talk about this because this is just so funny. Now, in charge of Canada right now is Justin Trudeau. Let me see if I get this right. I don't want to get sued. This isn't libelous or slanderous. He comes across as an idiot. I'm not calling him one. He just seems to be one. Maybe it's something he's doing. Back in 2013, when he became the leader of the Liberal Party, on his name, because he actually has no skills. He's a part-time drama teacher. He left under interesting circumstances. He tried to get his engineering degree a couple times. He's a snowboard instructor. He has no skills. He got the job because of his last name. Anyone ever see the movie Boomerang? You know, name recognition? He got the job because he did a very nice eulogy that someone else wrote and he read about his father because he's an actor. That's all he is. Anyway, in 2013, he got the nod, and I said to my friends and family, this will not end well. What are you talking about? And he's proved it out, you know, now that 2022, he's still in charge, and he has the anti-Midas touch. He has the turd touch. Everything you touch turns to crap. Anyway, he just recently got in bed, as I said, with the NDP, so now he has enough votes in order he can pass whatever he wants, driving Canada into ruin. It's going to be pretty funny to watch because he has no idea what he's doing. When Trump got in the States, a lot of my friends said, oh my God, Trump. What? I said, what are you complaining about? Our Prime Minister doesn't have the qualifications. If you take his name off an application, he's not qualified to run the Starbucks. They take a look. No. Anyway, over the last couple of months, there's been a protest about vaccines and everything else. So he invoked the Emergencies Act, which essentially is the War Measures Act. The same thing his father did in the 70s when people were being killed. But no, these are truckers who are honking their horns and have bouncy castles. And overreaction to the nth degree. Well, that's over and done with, and the mask mandate is still in place in certain places, but in my province, Ontario, the mask mandate's down. So things are getting back to normal again. So he thought, well, you know, I'm a climate crusader. Let's get on a jet and go to Europe. Again, hypocrite. He gets there, and he's speaking about injustices, and you could hear the eye rolls to the point where it's so hilarious. It's reported in several news outlets that are not the state media, like the CBC or the Globe and Mail or the Star. And like people who actually care about the actual truth are putting out there. 2 members of the European Parliament said, how dare you lecture us on human rights violations when you've been ruling over your country with a boot on the neck of the people and you admire the basic dictatorship of China. And, you know, they're raking him over the coals. And it's so funny because, well, as I say, he comes across as an idiot, and it just is. It's so funny to see because it's getting his comeuppance. He's begged for this, and now he's getting it. A lot of people are hoping he would do like his father did back in the 80s, what they call the walk in the snow, where he decided not to run again. He's talking now, I'm going to run. And to be fair, he did get a third of all the votes out there. He got a third. In Canada, we have a problem with electing. I think in the grand scheme of things, about 18% of Canada voted, but because of the way that they voted, because of the way things are blocked up in various areas, like Toronto is a huge area that has so many different seats, and if you win Toronto, you win the country, which is dumb. I say make the province of, or make the country of Toronto and leave it be. Anyway, he doesn't have the mandate to rule, but he's running it like he does. And when you factor in, even with the NDP helping out, we've got 20% of the country who voted them in power. It's just an insane situation, and I can't stand it. I'd like to leave this country in a second. I'd like to leave this province in a second, too. I'd like to leave the city, the way the city's been run right now. I don't want to be here anymore. I've said that for a couple of years now. So anyway, I just find that hilarious right now that he's been dragged over the coals. He said, well, we can't stand for Putin and these humanitarian person things, the way that you're running roughs out of people, and say, like, hello, have you seen what you've done in your own country? So that to me is why I call it Kanakistan, because we are turning into a third world dictatorship, and have for several years. This guy's been in power for 8 years now, and he's running roughshod, and I'm no better off. No one is. Anyway, departure on this channel. That was a bit of a political rant. I saw it, and I watched it on Twitter. I saw the actual clips calling him out, and they are hilarious. It is so funny, and he sits there with this dumb smile on his face all the time, because I guess he can't think of anything else to do. So that's my video for today. I hope to do one on the handle that I'm making for Max, but I'm close. Almost there. Should have that for Monday. And I've also got a few other pieces printed that are going to go sort of over top to cover where the screws are going to hold it all together. So I've got most of it done, and then I have to wire it up, and that won't take much at all. And a couple of coats of paint, and Bob's your uncle. So that's the video for today. Hope everyone's having a great day, and we'll talk to you all later.